get rid of the chat?
Because I'll just tab chat on my phone.
There. Do we need to make it any higher? Maybe just move back a little bit. Do you want to tweet from the main account too when you have a minute? After you check audio and everything?
You might need to move that mic. I don't know.
Why?
Not in the same position. Here, hold on. Don't move it yet. Let me see how we sound. As soon as it actually goes live for me. There we go. No, I do not want bits.
Oh, but you do want bits. That's just for this though, right? Oh, that's for that, okay.
Yeah. All right, Dave, say words, test words.
Words, hello, words, good morning. Anybody else in chat hear us?
Alright, that works.
Sounds good.
Yep. Good. It's actually like
Good morning, Paige. How are you today?
cool. And then let me do tweets.
Just make sure that.
Yeah, this is the important one.
Yeah. I think I gotta close it and open it again.
Oh yeah, because it's probably set for your mic by default.
There. Talk.
Testing 1 2 3. Test.
Check. Okay, stop. There. Talk.
Testing 1 2 3. Test.
Check. Here we go.
Yeah.
Level letter, I'll take care of most of it.
Yeah.
Hey Sean, how are you this morning? Let me know how it sounds and everything.
Yeah, it should. Doesn't sound too bad. I'm gonna keep this in my ear.
Oh, that's what you want, is like that delay.
Well, I mean, until we actually start.
Yeah. You can tweet on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm gonna at least keep the chat open. Mute all
I have it right here too.
Okay, cool.
I did the breakout on the screen here.
Oh, okay, cool. LA's good, Sean. LA's good. We're in the hood a little bit.
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
Nah, we're not. That's not that bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Just naked dude with an apron yesterday.
He had a justifiable reason. He was buying something.
Yeah, just buying something. Yeah. He just came from work. He was wearing a smock, apron, right? Probably. No shoes, no shirt, pants barely on, but had an apron. Honestly, it was hot enough that an apron actually is probably more comfortable.
as I kick my water bottle over.
Something higher.
I don't know. Is that too tall?
No,
that's good,
that's
actually,
actually fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juanita's. I don't know what that is. Menudo. Oh, Menudo in a can, really.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, no. We're sponsored by Green Giant, Dave's father, and Menudo.
I'm bigger than my dad, for the record.
Alright. Let's talk about Microsoft.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, he's not recording. Let's not talk about Microsoft.
All right, so Sean, you said everything sounds good on your end for the Twitch stream, like you can hear us and everything. Yeah, there he goes again. Paige, you're nuts, man. Thank you for the bits, as usual. When I get back into town next week, I do want to talk to you about something. So, all right. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let me just make sure before I hit record that my notepad, so I can open my notepad. All right, that's there. Okay. All right, Paige. It'll be broadcasted. It'll be on the podcast feed, and then it'll also be in the Twitch past broadcasts and stuff like that. So. All right, so we're gonna start recording. Welcome to E3 2019, day one. As Michael snaps into the microphone, testing my stuff.
Yep, just testing.
For the third or fourth time.
Yeah.
So my name is Dave Hunt. I am one of your hosts, and I'm joined by Michael Swick.
How's it going? I get the wave. I usually wave to you, but I get the wave to Twitch now.
Yeah. So, yes, if you are listening to the audio format of this podcast, we are broadcasting on Twitch in the mornings. Like today is Monday morning. It's like 7:30 LA time. So, like 9:30 for you and 10:30 for me in our mind. So we're trying some of this morning stuff, trying to do a little bit more live broadcasting things. We are going to recap the Bethesda press conference and the Microsoft press conference, which both went on yesterday. And then maybe a little brief preview of what we got going on today. But the intention will be that these shows will be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes at the most each day. So if you're watching on Twitch and you're worried about like getting in trouble at work or anything like that, like you can hang out for a little bit hopefully and just check it out. And then it should show up on all the past broadcasts as well as show up on the podcast feed daily. That's the plan. So internet here is good, which is way better than it was before.
Surprisingly, like you're not even using your network right now, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're on Wi-Fi, so
that's pretty damn good.
All right, so the day started off with Microsoft having their press conference. And at the Microsoft Theater, I was able to attend. Michael didn't respond to an email fast enough after I told him to, so he wasn't.
Yeah.
And they started the press conference off at the very beginning, like most of them do, like saying what they're going to talk about, what they're going to show. And they said 60 games, 14 game studios, and 30 games 30 of the games that they showed today will be premiering on the Games Pass.
Yeah.
Xbox Game Pass. So half of what they showed today will be part of Xbox Games Pass.
On day one of release date.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. So, and then they started off with a game that's not exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, which I respect just out of the fact that they own Obsidian and they know Obsidian has a game. They want it to be successful. So regardless of the fact that's coming to PS4, they made it their opener. Which was a fun opener. It looks Fallout as hell. Like the NPCs, all that stuff. It's Obsidian, makes sense. But yeah, it was. I like the trailer. I was expecting them to start with more of a bang than that, but I was happy with that. They actually started with the studios that they recently acquired. So
yeah, And then and they're calling all of those Xbox game studios. Like, so Sony calls theirs like Sony Computer Interactive or
Yeah,
Sony,
Worldwide.
Yeah, Sony Worldwide Studios. So everything that they're referring to is Xbox Game Studio. So like, well, you know, like I'm not sure what it looked like for you guys at home on the stream, but like up on the big monitor, it would start with their Xbox Game Studio. Like that.
Yeah,
would be
that's how every trailer started with like Xbox Studios.
So, and then the next game they moved on to was Minecraft Dungeons, which is it's not an expansion to Minecraft, it's a completely different Minecraft game.
Yeah, it's like a dungeon crawler Minecraft game. I like it says from the original creators of Minecraft.
Like
but
it was
it's like no, Notch is gone. Notch has not been there. Don't look at Notch's Twitter. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm sure it'll do well. Minecraft does well.
It showed a lot more. I mean, I know with the multiplayer and stuff like that, it's always Minecraft social has always been really, really good, but it showed more of like 4 players or 5 players like exploring the same dungeon together and things like that. So that looked interesting. And it showed a lot of weapons and keys, like kind of more like. I mean, obviously it's a dungeon crawler, but I was getting a little bit of a Zelda vibe to it, like hunt and find this. And
I think so. I wonder if that the game that also made an appearance in Sony like advertised, Riverbound, if they saw that and were like, son of a bitch, because they're also voxel pixelated game.
All right, and then I'm gonna throw the next one to you and let you be happy and sad at the same time because it's Ninja Theories.
Yeah,
and I missed the title. I think when I was talking.
Bleeding Cool, or Bleeding Edge.
Okay. The Fist.
Yeah, was that a fist?
I think it was a fist. Yeah.
I'm excited for Ninja Theories games no matter what, because if you just go through the list, they go through the list in the trailer. It's a Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, DMC, Hellblade, and they announce a 4v4 melee combat game, which looks kind of cool. I mean, it just kind of looks like Rage and Anarchy Reigns.
Looks like a third-person Overwatch.
Yeah.
Class-based, right? Because it looked like a character, like a third-person hero shooter.
Yeah, with like weird zombie, like metal people.
Because the way that the trailer was introducing some of the characters and things like that, it looked to me like it was going to be like class-based, like you were playing.
Oh no, for sure. It looks class-based, multiplayer-focused game. Which I don't know. Just I'm happy Ninja Theory's making more games and they have some financial stability. But them going from Hellblade, which is one of my favorite games of this gen, which is a single-player, narrative-focused game, to then just a multiplayer game that I don't think will do... It'll probably do okay, but I don't see it setting the world on fire. And if I swear to God, if I see next year they're talking esports, I'm going to feel real sad about this deal for Ninja Theory. Because I was happy when they got acquired. Because... I want them to last, but I also was worried that if Microsoft was going to dictate what they make...
Yeah, but it sounded like, based on the presentation on the stage, that they had already been working on this before.
Yeah.
So, like, this maybe is a passion project of the studio.
Which I would hope it's a passion project, because then I have a little bit more faith in it, but until then, I see this, and I'm just like, I really hope. They did say they have multiple projects in the works, so hopefully they have a Hellblade-like project happening, but yeah.
And then we saw another trailer. Pretty much, I feel like it was the same trailer for Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, it almost felt like a highlight reel of what was shown at EA Play, because they hit like the specific set pieces that we saw in that full gameplay video from EA Play.
And you're 100% right, man. The TV we have in this place is garbage, because the game looks so much better at the conference.
I ended up watching it on my laptop just because we have like a TCL TV, which some TCL TVs are really good, but this one is really bad, and it made everything look cartoony, and it had the soap opera effect. So Dave was just like, why does everything look like animated plastic? It's like this TV.
Yeah. So again, like that game comes out in November 15th.
But what do you like? Me and you weren't that impressed when we saw the play trailer.
Like you said it out loud. I mean, if they're gonna, you said it out loud when we were watching it. If this is game's gonna hold up, it's gonna have to be a great narrative.
It is, because when I see it, I just see Uncharted and a game we'll see later in this is Control on this list.
Yeah, I don't think they showed.
Yeah,
I maybe missed it. Wall running, so very Respawn-ish, you know. But yeah, it's just like I'm not a huge like Star Wars nut, but I mean if the story is really good, then I would, you know, because I love, you know, really good narrative story-driven games. If I can learn more about the Star Wars universe through video games, like that's fine, because trying to read the books is just impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like hopefully, like as we get closer to launch, they show a little bit more story-ness to it. And then this is the first game that they were showing, and everybody in the crowd was like, "Wait, what is this?" And what and it's just Blair Witch.
Yeah, it's funny when before the trailer was done, when they first showed it, I'm just like, oh, are they doing Blair Witch meets Slender Man? Like, why would you do that? And then the title card pops up, Blair Witch. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I guess they're doing a Blair Witch game, which just seems so random in 2019.
Yeah. The crowd at the press conference when they panned away and started to show the symbol in the cornfield or whatever.
Yeah,
they kind of lost it a little bit at first. They were cheering, and I was just like, Blair Witch has been not around for a long time.
Yeah, I think there's 3 Blair Witch movies, and I think the other 2 were like direct to video or direct to DVD back when direct to DVD was an actual thing and it wasn't direct to Netflix. But yeah, this seems like a weird move in 2019, but like those type of games are fun, like because it looks pretty much Slender Man. I'll probably never play it or beat the first level because I can never even beat the first level of Slender Man. No, I can beat the first level of Slender Man. It's just when they introduce like the children that chase you that I'm just done.
And then we saw a Cyberpunk trailer, Cyberpunk 2077, and a release date, along with Keanu Reeves.
Which was the highlight of E3 so far, is Keanu just being super energetic. It's so crazy how Keanu Reeves has become like this icon after
that your
going
breathtaking
away.
meme was already on the
Oh god, yeah, and I've tweeted that so many times. But the trailer looked pretty good. It was weird though. I was curious about they bleeped the trailer on the stream.
Oh, they did it in the game too.
Which
they used, but to be fair, that I feel like they used, because most of the cursing and everything was happening like in the car.
Yeah.
They used like the car making noise.
Oh, they didn't do that for us. We just got bleeps.
It sounded like the car was going off, like the check engine light would turn on.
Oh no, not for us.
Okay.
It was this full.
And maybe that was just like because it wasn't as a point of an audible bleep at the press conference.
Oh no, it was super noticeable. And when they would do it and they would take it on the moment, I'm just like, oh, I wonder if this must be on TV and they're worried about that. But then he goes in and Mark Henry, Rick Ross character, starts to get his goons to jump on the guy, and he just chops off his arms, stabs him in the chest. I'm just like, oh, okay, so I guess fucking shit are bad, but
blood and gore.
Blood and gore. But the trailer looked fantastic, and then at the end when you get the Keanu moment where he just says, "Wake up, samurai," it's just like, oh fuck, this is amazing. I'm so happy.
No gameplay though, again, right?
No, I don't think.
It's all first person.
Yeah, it's all first person. I don't think they've announced any third person mode or anything like that. But
and it's coming out in April.
Yep.
2020.
Yep, April 16th, 2020, which is fantastic. And I really hope someone brought up a good point. I hope there's romancing in this game, like the Witcher series, and you can romance Keanu Reeves. If that's possible, I need that to happen.
Okay.
Yep. No. Yeah.
I missed I missed the title of this game when I was writing it, and I never went back to check it. I saw the trailer on my phone's over there on the YouTube. It's like a spin or Spadafall game. It's on Sony. Well, we'll talk about the next game. It's on there. It's coming to PlayStation. It was on my YouTube channel, or the YouTube channel, PlayStation's YouTube channel feed, but I can't remember the name of the game.
I gotta look that up.
So while you're doing that, so they did Battletoads trailer, 3-player co-op, couch co-op only. Yeah,
I don't know. Didn't really feel the art style or anything for Battletoads at all.
I felt like it's been gone for so long that you could have done a full reimagining of something, and then you could have just shown anything. But what they showed for Battletoads in such an iconic franchise, at least from people like our age and stuff like that, childhood and things like that. You know, Battletoads has always been just hard as balls style of game. I swear that they. Oh shit.
As we look up this for the people not watching live. Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
I must have. Oh, is that with the
shipbuilding and stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay.
So Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was Spiritfarer, which just showed a kind of a 2D side-scrolling building game.
Yeah.
They didn't show very much of it, so
Yeah.
it was hard to tell. All right. And then another one that I think I missed was like a Riptime Right game.
Man, I must be blanking on some of this stuff at one point. This is this when the woman came out to talk about Game Pass and it showed a bunch of indie games?
Right before it, because like
right
what I
before,
wrote, right after this trailer for this, they showed the ID at Xbox trailer, and then right at the beginning they showed the ID at Xbox logo, and then they said essentially the trailer said everything you see here is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, day one
So
Game Pass.
all of ID at Xboxes are day one Game Pass, and then I did not catch the 7 or 8 games that they just kind of plowed through sizzle reel.
Yeah, I just remember like River Brown, and then I think 12 Minutes got like a full gameplay trailer. But that might have been later on. But I guess we'll just talk a little bit about Game Pass and like the showing they did with that, launching Game Pass on PC.
Yeah, 100 games for PC, 100 games for Games Pass on PC by August.
Yeah.
And then there's been a whole bunch of stuff about like it's $1 right now.
Yeah, it's $1 to sign up for the first month, and then $5 a month after that, which is a pretty crazy deal. I mean, it doesn't have as many games as the Game Pass on Xbox.
And then they announced like Games Pass Ultimate, which was Games Pass for console, Games Pass for PC.
Yeah, and then Xbox Live.
And Xbox Live
for $14.99
a month,
which is pretty good because Xbox Live every
$50 for a year.
60 for a year.
Yeah.
So that's what like $8 a month. And then Game Pass is $10. So you save money by doing that, and if you have a PC,
right.
Do you need, since multiplayer on PC has been generally free, do you need Xbox Live for Game Pass on PC?
I don't know, because I know that some of the games are already, like with their Play Anywhere thing, some of the stuff that was on Games Pass for console worked on PC anyways.
Yeah,
so there are a bunch of games that are working for them. So,
but it's a really good deal. I mean, like the Game Pass library on Xbox One alone is worth checking out, but then if you have a PC, you get to mess with a bunch of games on this as well. And I think they put Metro Exodus on Game Pass?
Metro Exodus and Borderlands: A Handsome Collection and Tomb Raider. That was for PC, I think. Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah. It's just funny though because
they had 3 big games on there. Oh, they had the
Arkham City, Exodus,
or Borderlands.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, Exodus, I don't know if you remember, was on PC exclusive to the Epic Store.
Yeah.
So then this, I guess, might be a way for PC to play Metro Exodus without having to just use the Epic Store. But yeah, no, I'm really like their emphasis on Xbox Game Pass this show just made it more obvious to me that PlayStation now needs to step up. They need to do something because it's kind of forgotten. It's already moved to third place because of Stadia, and Stadia isn't even out.
Yeah.
And Stadia doesn't even have details. But now in the general like stream of consciousness on Twitter, Stadia is talked about a lot and Game Pass is talked about a lot. And it's almost like people forget PS Now exists outside of like people like us that...
I don't even have it though, so...
No, I know, but we at least know it's around
right.
because, we do this, and most of our listeners know about it because they're listening to a PlayStation-focused show. But for the people that don't, PS Now doesn't exist. People don't know what PS Now is, don't know it exists. Probably once you tell them the price, are like, I'm not interested whatsoever in that. So they have to step up. I don't know if they step up before PS5 or they wait till PS5 to do that change, but they got to do something.
All right, so that was kind of like almost like their break point in the conference, their middle point, and then they kind of went more back to like they did their service talk, and then they kind of went back to games again. They showed Flight Simulator 2019.
Did that get a big pop from the crowd?
Not really, but I feel like that game is more about what you're seeing, not what you're doing.
It is, but Flight Simulator has a very big history with PC.
Mm-hmm.
To where that is like where some people learn to fly because it gets very granular and complicated. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's kind of a big deal that they're bringing it back, just because people love that franchise. People still will run old versions of Windows to run Flight Simulator.
Does Xbox support Flight Sticks?
If they bring it to Xbox One, because did they said it was coming to Xbox One, or was it just PC? they would have to probably support flight sticks. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't, because I think they have one for Ace Combat.
Yeah. The part that confused me is because I don't really play a lot of flight simulators, but it was actually showing you like flying, like commercial jets, like what we flew in.
No, that's part of the thing is that there would be like expansions and stuff like that for Flight Simulator for different types of planes.
Okay. It looked cool. Like I was more interested in like the areas they were showing. They showed like San Francisco, and they showed baseball fields, and they showed like iconic areas and pyramids in Egypt and things like that.
And it was made with Azure AI, which is the thing that Sony partnered up to get a piece of, and Google Maps data.
Then they showed a quick trailer for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Wasteland 3. That they called it Wasteland 3, and it was the subtitle was like Cold War in Colorado.
Something like that.
Yeah. Double Fine. It's been purchased by Microsoft.
Yeah, man. I don't think people need to worry about Psychonauts 2 just because that was announced on the PlayStation stage. PSX, they had a pretty big section for Rhombus of Ruin and for Psychonauts 2. They've advertised this game enough for PlayStation that I feel like even Microsoft knows it would be in bad taste to buy them and then not release it. Microsoft's published games on PS4, I believe. I think there was one game that was published by Microsoft.
Minecraft still comes to PlayStation.
Yeah, that's probably it. So Psychonauts 2 is a big enough game that has been promised to PlayStation fans that I'm assuming I don't know for sure, but it's probably been confirmed or denied already. That's probably safe to come to PlayStation. Just like Obsidian already had the deal to release Outer Worlds.
And then, like we saw, I can't think of the studio, but the We Happy Few studio.
Yeah, Compulsion Games, which is another Microsoft thing that I guess that this came out last year or this year, so they didn't have anything ready to show. But yeah, it sucks that it's both sucks and good because I'm happy Double Fine, an indie studio, has now money and support, and I don't think Microsoft's closing anyone anytime soon. So they have that stability from a Microsoft. It just sucks from a PlayStation perspective that you won't be able to get their games.
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy on that though is if you don't own an Xbox, is with the rate the direction that Microsoft is taking all their stuff. If you're worried about and you already have a somewhat decent PC, especially if you've got a Psychonauts game, you'll probably be able to play it on PC. Yeah,
I guess that's the only good thing with Microsoft's direction is you at least have two other avenues to get their games.
Yeah. So then they showed a trailer for Psychonauts 2. And then they showed Lego Star Wars, which kind of duped the crowd at the very beginning because the very first 10 or 15 seconds of that trailer did not look Lego.
Yeah, and then people thought it was TIE Fighter or something. Yeah.
So and that was kind of funny because people are like, "What?" And then they're like, and then you see the Lego, and you're like, "Oh." So it's all 9 films in one game called the Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, which have there been Lego games for the new Star Wars movies yet? Because clearly there will be because we saw Rey.
Yeah, but
and Kylo, but I just don't remember if
there. Rogue One didn't get a Lego game, right?
No.
Yeah, but that's not part of the 9
Skywalker.
Movies. Yeah. So I don't know I'm not sure where they're at with that, but that is something that I get to see this week. So that will be one of my follow-up questions to find out what the thought process behind that is.
But the other movies have had Lego games, so I'm assuming those are just remasters coming over, and then the current trilogy would be new games.
And then they showed a game that a lot of the crowd lost it for was Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Project Z.
Man.
Action RPG.
And then it got another name, but they did the annoying thing on TV where it zoomed out when they put the new title on. Because they did put a new title, but the camera...
But I wrote down everything that was right on the screen to the right.
Oh, no. So they showed, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Project Z, action RPG game, and then the camera pulled away from the trailer, and then it, vanished, and then they put something at the bottom of it, starting with a K.
Oh,
and then it
I saw that, but I just thought that was a name or something.
Yeah, I think they changed the subtitle, which is sad, because I like the idea that it's Project Z, action RPG game. But it looks like the old Dragon Ball games, so I don't know if I...
Yeah, I don't think anything we saw was gameplay, though.
No, you saw a glimpse of it where it's just the big 3D open space, but it's all canyons and grass and stuff. So, I might be seeing that this week.
And then they showed a trailer for a game called 12 Minutes. And this one actually looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, and apparently it's been around a very long time. It's been around at like PAXs and the indie booth. You basically are in a time loop.
It's like Groundhog Day in 12 minutes. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Where you have to accomplish something in 12 minutes, and there's dozens, if not hundreds, of different variances and how to get out of that scenario. Which apparently, I was listening to Giant Bomb's recap, and they're like talking about playing that in 2014 or 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at a PAX. So it sounds like it's been around a while, but that looked fascinating.
Yeah. And then I wrote down Way of the Woods.
Okay. This is when like all of those games probably get like.
Yeah. And then and then they started talking about Gears. So Gears 5, Bound by Blood, September 10th of this year. 4 days early with Ultimate.
Yeah, on Game Pass specifically.
Yeah.
So Game Pass includes all the. So that's a good way to get people to sign up for Game Pass.
Right. It's like instead of pre-ordering a game, you're just pre-ordering a service, and you're getting the service and a game early.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
good
then,
use of Little John. For the Escape trailer.
Yeah, so they had a new mode called Escape, which is infiltrate, hide a bomb, and get out.
Yeah.
So it kind of has a search and destroy kind of feel to it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they showed off a new Elite controller. Cosmetically, the controller itself doesn't look too different in terms of how it functions. There's profiles on it similar to some of the other custom controllers and stuff that we've seen now. So they showed that you could have 3 different preset profiles, supposedly much stronger Bluetooth connectivity.
Yeah.
Even though like a couple of people I was sitting next to were still asking, like, can you plug it in? Because in terms of an Elite controller, but they were really focusing on the Bluetooth. They called it a Series 2. They didn't say anything about a price.
New battery, 40-hour battery.
Yeah, and it's interchangeable.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So I wonder if it comes with 2 batteries and you can pop one out and charge one while the other one's playing. So that would be good. And I know a game you're really interested in. They showed off a trailer for Dying Light 2.
Yeah, which you find out the protagonist is infected, and it looked like Dying Light. The game, it was mostly CG, so all the stuff I'm interested in Dying Light is the actual gameplay, which what I've seen last year looked fantastic. So
didn't we have a release window at all? Because now we have like spring 2020.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And then Forza Horizon 4 with a Lego Speed Champions expansion coming out this week, June 13th.
Which looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
It looked kind of cool seeing the Legos, and then it would show the regular cars, and just, I don't know.
And then typical Microsoft fashion is, I'm not saying it's positive or negative, they had a fully assembled Lego car on the stage.
Yeah, they needed a car.
Like a life-size car. Like it looked pretty cool. Even looking at it from a far distance away, like you could tell it was Lego, and it was like a lot of Legos.
Yeah. It's a Lego McLaren or whatever.
Yeah. And then they showed a Gears Pop game, which I was left scratching my head for the first couple minutes of the trailer. And then it flipped to a mobile game.
Yeah. They announced that last year, and it's actually available now in New Zealand. It's been available in New Zealand for like a week now, because they always do that. They release it in like New Zealand, Australia first. But that's the first time I saw gameplay. I really I hate Funko Pops. I think Funko Pops are ugly and they're the worst.
You don't like the eyes?
No, the eyes just look dead, and all the characters look the same. Like I hate Funko Pops because it's like, oh, here's the Nathan Drake Funko Pop, and then here's the Booker DeWitt Funko Pop. It's like they look exactly the same, but one's got a scarf or something. I like the cutscene look of it, like seeing the Funko Pops interact and stuff like that. And like, oh, maybe this is like cuter or more worth than it actually is. But then they showed the mobile thing, which wouldn't be the first time we saw a mobile game that day kind of take it out of the audience. But yeah,
that definitely got the claps in the crowd. That was pretty interesting.
At least they didn't put someone on stage to have to stand there and take the pity applause.
Yeah. And then they showed off an expansion for State of Decay 2. Heartland, it's out now. That's another Xbox exclusive game. It looked cool. Mm-hmm. And then this is the one that I think took the crowd the most. Like that, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I've heard of this game because it has like a lot of foundational structure to like Destiny and things like that. Mm-hmm. Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to Xbox
Which
in 2020 with cross-play.
Yeah, 2020 with crossplay. Don't know if it's exclusive for Xbox and PC yet.
At the beginning of the presentation, Phil Spencer was like in the crowd talking, and he said, bringing a beloved franchise back to Xbox exclusively. And then at the end of the presentation of the trailer, it said, first to console.
Yeah, which could mean 3 months, 6 months, or a year. But even if it is a year exclusive, it's like 5 years too late for Phantasy Star Online. Like,
I mean, is there a chance that they're getting ready to do a third one?
Maybe, but even then, it seems like they would be kind of bad. Unless they plan to do like an overhaul or a big expansion, I feel like this is just too late. Like, there was a time and a place for this to come out, but so many other games have just, like, hopped over it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a cool, like, I guess, fan moment, because there was some diehard.
Yeah, like I was sitting with Danny from Game Attack Radio, and he lost it. Like, he stood up and put his arms in the air and was jumping.
Yeah.
So he lost it.
Well, because, if you want to play Phantasy Star Online, a lot of people would just have to, do VPNs and then go on a server and then have a translator.
Well, he was even telling me, like, they released it on Vita in
Japan.
In the East.
Yeah.
And then he tried to, like, make a Japanese PSN and use his Vita here, and it wouldn't work.
Yeah. You have to, like, run it through a VPN. So there was, like, hacks on PC to get around that, and then you would have to use fans translations to play it, and I know people that did that. And I don't know if those people, after doing all that work, are going to come back to it, like, 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah. And then another one that kind of left everybody scratching their head. I was sitting next to a couple guys that are actually pretty big PC gamers, too. Crossfire X is coming. Again, it said first to console.
Yeah.
You said this is Smile Games?
Smilegate?
Smilegate.
Yeah,
okay.
Which I had to Google. Like,
they portrayed them as this gigantic PC legend.
65 million or 650 million?
And I had never heard of them either.
Yeah.
Nor did I, because I even bumped a guy that I knew was a PC guy, and I'm like, do you know what this is? And he's like, no.
Yeah. No idea. But apparently Remedy is working on this game.
Okay.
So the people from Alan Wake Control, they tweeted out that they're partnering to work on Crossfire with them. So I have no idea if that means they're making the whole game or if they're just doing like a single player campaign. I saw like a news posting earlier about it with a little bit more detail. I'd never heard of Smilegate. And this was just a CG, shooter trailer, so I couldn't really grasp any gameplay or anything like that. But I get Remedy's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be good. But yeah, if you guys know who Smilegate is, good on you. Like,
it gets to that point too that I'm like, their studios sometimes, like I feel like I know that they're in this transition of where they're owning studios, but we keep hearing like, oh, we got this, and we have other things in the works, and we're helping with this, and we're helping with this, and some of that starts to concern me a little bit, like in terms of if you're stretching them out too much. Yeah. But we'll have to see how that goes. And then they showed a Tales of Arise. Part of the Tales series. It's coming out in 2020. Mm-hmm. Another Borderlands 3 trailer. Not a big deal there, but they did announce that the Borderlands 2 DLC is currently free and on Games Pass and on PS Plus.
Okay.
Handsome Collection is free right now.
Yeah.
Handsome Collection is free for the month of June, and then it came out. They announced yesterday that Handsome Collection is going to be on Games Pass, and then the DLC is free right now.
Okay. Yeah,
so get this DLC, download it even if you're not going to play it right away. Download Borderlands Handsome Collection, download the DLC, download the 4K texture pack that they released and everything for it. If you have the TV and the PS Pro to support it, and then this DLC is supposed to tie directly into Borderlands 3.
Okay. So
that's pretty cool because that might help me, if I'm trying to get through some of the stuff getting ready for Borderlands 3. And then they showed From Software's new game, and this has got the Game of Thrones guy, right?
Yeah, George R. R. Martin working with Miyazaki on a game. It was just a CG trailer. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is. It looks cool from like the trailer visuals.
Yeah, it's Elden Ring.
Yeah, which is using like the Lord of the Rings font, and everything like that.
It's a From Software game, so I'm out because I don't really get my ass kicked.
That's my only concern about this. Is like I want to jump in it because George R. R. Martin, great world builder and all that stuff. We don't know the extent of the work he did on this. He could have just like flown out to Japan for a weekend and then been like, "That's cool, that sucks." But I'm wondering, because they're adding George R. R. Martin's name to this, that opens up the people that would be interested in this game. So is From Software willing to
make their game not kick your ass?
Yeah, like, are they willing to make it less challenging, to be more accepting from a casual audience that George R. R. Martin's name brings?
Plus all the crap that they got about Sekiro's accessibility and everything.
Exactly.
Like that,
so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that, because it'd be super weird if they get a big name like George R. R. Martin and then sews the hell out of it to where it's unapproachable.
Right. And then they moved into a little bit of a hardware discussion. Their console streaming project, Cloud Wherever You Go. They're essentially like giving you access to your being able to stream directly from your console. Mm-hmm. Again, a couple more questions than answers. Maybe this is why the diskless Xbox exists.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of like a remote play aspect to it, sort of, but more of a streaming service.
Which I wonder how that will affect the next generation of Xbox, if you'll be able to stream the next gen of Xbox onto your current Xbox. Because they said stream anywhere. Maybe that will happen, which would undercut their sales of Xbox One X2s or whatever.
Yeah. And then they started talking about Project Scarlet, which is their next gen console. And I don't really feel like they said anything that was like super wowing. They pretty much just countered almost every Sony's point.
Yeah. They're using the exact same architecture.
Faster load times.
The SSD. Yeah. So it's just funny though. It makes Sony's random, like Mark Cerny inviting like The Verge or whatever it was to their office to be like, here, this is what we're using, because everything that was said during this press conference was just kind of undercut, because it's like, oh yeah, of course you have an SSD, because Sony said they have an SSD.
I mean, the only thing that I think that Microsoft may have said that I think might be something that could come into a possible problem later is that they actually said the words 120 frames on console.
Yeah, they said that.
So, I'm a little worried that if especially if one of their direct studio games doesn't hit 120 frames on console, like when Digital Foundry runs this through the ringer, that's going to be bad for them.
That was like the dumbest thing that they could have said is it could achieve up to 120 frames. Even if they said it could achieve it, that already puts in the mindset of people that like, why isn't this at 60? Why isn't this at 120? But yeah, they kind of like dug themselves into that one.
Yeah, so I felt that was a little, and then that was a little not necessary maybe, because that could cause some serious problems for them.
Yeah.
Not like just perception.
Yeah.
So, and then they showed a new Halo trailer. And they said Halo. Did they call it Halo 6?
Infinite.
Infinite, okay.
Yeah, and that is going to be the launch game for Project Scarlet.
And still coming to Xbox One.
No gameplay, right? It was just all CG trailer?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks...
I don't understand the Halo franchise at all,
yeah.
So I'm not really sure what was going on there, other than apparently the guy was trapped on his ship for a long period of time. Yeah. Master Chief floated towards him, he pulled him in, and then it was able to... Yeah. Master Chief was able to power his entire ship, and then he was pissed that they lost or whatever.
Yeah, and they went to go for a fight. It was a CG trailer, so it's kind of hard to tell. Like, it doesn't really show off what the next gen of Xbox is going to do, because it just looked like a nice trailer, which... That's what it was. But, yeah, that was a Microsoft press conference. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
It was fine. I mean, they showed a lot of games, but, there was no gameplay.
Yeah, there was no gameplay. No gameplay. Like, I thought it was a good show.
The theme of yesterday was no gameplay.
Yeah. Oh God. EA with their crappy
EA showed gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
They showed Jedi Fallen Order, and they showed new Apex gameplay.
Yeah.
But we didn't really talk about very much of that because there wasn't really much to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, it was I thought it was a good show. The Keanu thing is the best thing, but it was mostly because he was on stage. Yeah. Just doing weird Keanu things. But yeah, I thought it was a good show. I didn't think it was bad or terrible, and it was just a good showing for Game Pass. Yeah, more than anything.
There's a lot of Game Pass. It was, and even on the stage, you saw the screen, the monitor, and then in the lower left hand corner, it would always say Xbox Game Pass, Xbox One, Windows PC. That was a very big focus, and they were trying to be very clear on it. And then the ones that weren't part of that, the From Software game and Outer Worlds and stuff like that didn't have the stuff on the bottom. Yeah. So, They released that. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We're trying not to react to chat because people listening can't hear it or can't see it. So we went to Bethesda. You and I actually got to attend that press conference together. It was down in the Shrine Theater where Sony revealed like God of War and Days Gone and everything like that. So it was kind of cool to go back there. And they started the show off with like a lot of like I can't remember like be together.
They're Be Together.
So Be Together was the theme, and they talked a lot about their player base, and they were showing off a lot of the players and like regular people they obviously brought into the studio to talk about what their games mean to them. And then Bethesda Games had 60 million players play them last year.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That is a lot. It's a lot of
59.8 were not playing Fallout 76.
No, sadly they were playing.
Yeah.
Are they playing now? Yeah. Probably not.
So they talked a lot about, right at the beginning, they talked a lot about Elder Scrolls Mobile and released an update for Elder Scrolls Blades. And then also they said it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, and it's cross-play or cross-save.
Save, because it's free to play.
Yeah, so you can progress transfers between the games.
Bethesda filled their audience with some passionate people.
They always do. So they have a bunch of their staff from their various studios in there, which is why when they would say an individual's name, people would go crazy.
Yeah.
And then they just had the hardcore Elder Scrolls fans in the audience. I swear it was probably the same woman that was infamously there like a couple years ago screaming for all the Elder Scrolls stuff. There was basically like 3 assholes in the theater competing against each other for attention. We had like one on the front left of us, one in our row in front of us, and then behind us, and they were all just like competing with who can be the loudest dumbass for everything. But yeah, Todd Howard, he came out and basically just said like, yeah, we're working on Starfield and Elder Scrolls. And then
sounds like Todd Howard was Todd Howard.
Yeah, and then he just like walked off. He was like, okay, he did eat a little shit for Fallout 76. And then before he ate enough, too much shit, he passed it off to the Fallout 76 guys so they can eat shit. And behind us, one of the loud assholes was trying to start a fix the game chant.
Which sounds like what we're going to talk about they might be trying to do.
It's great, but it's also sad at the same time. But.
So they announced Fallout 76 Wasteland update. So NPC characters are returning.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody on Twitter, I was noticing either last night or this morning, asked like, so you're playing in your world and I'm playing in your world, right? Because we're kind of in the same world, and I'm not as far along as you are. Like, is that NPC going to be there for me?
Well, yeah.
Is it going to enter? Is it going to do like some other games do, where when you enter a certain area of this world, that you're kind of in your own entity?
That's one thing that they're going to have to explain, because that's one of the reasons why they didn't do human NPCs and they did computer terminals, is to avoid situations like that, so you won't get spoiled.
Overhearing a conversation and things like that.
Yeah, which I guess will, or they could just have the person, because human NPCs in Fallout aren't really that dynamic. They like talk to you, have dialogue trees. They could just mute the audio.
The only thing similar, like in Destiny, when I walk up to an NPC, whether it's in a social space or in the open world, and I like click, when I click and hold, square or whatever, and I access them, there's a brief second of like a black screen.
Yeah.
So like it could be something to where like you see me standing next to an NPC, but you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So, so NPCs returned, quest lines, and then full dialogue trees.
Yes, which is huge. It's sad that, like, I'm excited that the shit that should have been in the game originally is in the game, and the crowd went crazy for this.
Yeah, when they showed they simply, like, on the screen, I'm pretty sure you guys all saw this at home, but they just showed a character walking up to somebody on a step, on a porch, and talking to them, and then little boxes of dialogue showed up on the screen where you could pick what it was, and they just went nuts.
Yeah, and I think you went to me like, who's that? And I'm just like, no, they're... the dialogue's back. Which is so sad that like we have to be excited for
because from a normal player perspective, like you said, I'm like, this has got to be a cool character.
But it's not. Yeah,
so,
it's just a human NPC.
And then they said that year 2 for Fallout 76 is about people coming back to the world, like in the game, so like the vaults have been
open and you settled the land to make it more livable, so people are coming back.
Kudos to Bethesda. This is a 100% free update.
Yeah, free update, yeah.
And it's coming out in fall 2019. And then right now, this week, there's a free trial for it for Fallout 76 from
Which
June
might
10th.
not be the best look right now to be like, hey guys, we swear this game will be good in the fall.
June 10th to the 17th is the free, and then they teased, and then in this update time, there's the trial for the new game mode called Nuclear Winter.
Yeah.
Which is a 52-player battle royale.
Which actually looked kind of cool, but Fallout in general's gunplay is fucking garbage. So the idea...
Well, that didn't really look like it mattered because you could just like drop nukes on people in fully armored outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a concern you had about like Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
When Call of Duty first was talking about battle royale of like each weapon and armor and all those things, and like we saw somebody like in like a Fallout like mech suit.
Yeah, full mech, which who knows if mechs are just random drops in the map, like care packages or something like that. But it looks cool. I think they just got me because, the music, I think it was like Burning Ring of Fire, and there's actual fire ring.
If your music is good and your gameplay's terrible, you get moved up a couple notches in
exactly.
Michael's mind.
Yeah, it's just, my mind sometimes can be simple enough that you can trick me, and then I get the actual control, and I'm just like, shit, you tricked me.
Yeah, but you can try the battle royale mode this week. It'll be also a free edition coming with Wasteland.
Yeah, and Ron Funches.
Wastelanders.
Yeah, I think it was Ron Funches had the best.
Yeah, the 51.
But yeah, he's like, oh cool, the 52 people left playing can battle to the death to see who's the last person playing. Like it's crazy.
So then, I don't keep up with this too much, and I've actually really never even heard of this. The Tango Gameworks studio.
Yeah, they've been working with them for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they announced Ghostwire Tokyo,
which looked pretty interesting. No gameplay again.
Right. The presenter was amazing. I can't remember her name, but she was amazing. She's all over Twitter today and yesterday too.
Yeah. She was adorable. She won the crowd over. Yeah. People were like kind of passive aggressive towards like Todd Howard and the Fallout developers, but then when she came out, she won it over.
It is an action adventure game, and you're fighting a supernatural evil. Is pretty much kind of what they were telling us.
Yeah.
So it looked pretty interesting. It looked like just people were just disappearing naked.
Yeah.
Because their clothing was just being left.
They got Thanos snapped, but they disintegrated, not their clothes.
Yeah.
And there was a dog by itself.
It looks like some kind of archer, though, right? Like
the
character is going to be like
in
Arrow
in Infinity War.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
In Endgame.
Yeah.
Looks cool. It'll be.
Looks like it's a while out though, because they didn't say 2020. They didn't say anything.
Nothing.
And then they spent a lot of time focusing on Elder Scrolls Online. The Elsewhere is available now. And then it'll have a fourth quarter quest line, Dragon's Hold, and then also a dungeon DLC, Scalebreakers, coming in August. So neither one of us played Elder Scrolls.
I tried.
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't get into it.
The stuff that they were showing, like the fight with the dragon.
None of that looks like that in the game.
Yeah.
So before you get excited.
Yeah, and then they announced a free-to-play mobile game called Commander Keen. It looked kind of cool, but it's a mobile game, so
yeah.
And then what I got from Rage 2 was new stuff coming. Like there's more vehicles, some more guns. more guns, and then there is some kind of expansion coming soon as well. So, and then they brought the Wolfenstein team out, and the Wolfenstein team showed off a Wolfenstein VR called Cyber Pilot, and it's coming next month in July.
Yep.
They didn't confirm or not confirm any platforms. I know that sometimes it's been a little while for their stuff to come to Sony PSVR.
Yeah, because it's like Fallout never came out.
Yeah, so they didn't say anything either way. And then they announced Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is a bigger gameplay experience than any of the Wolfenstein games. More weapons and more ways to
kill Nazis, punch Nazis, stab Nazis.
My computer changed it to zombies.
Oh, okay.
And more Nazis to kill and co-op.
And the co-op looked like we didn't really see too much of the co-op in action from like the gameplay they were showing. But Wolfenstein was really fast and is pretty intense.
It gave me a little bit more Rage 2 feel in terms of guns and movement and stuff like that.
But it looked cool. Like
it did. It looked fun. The thing that looked the most interesting to me is like a lot of times these games that have co-op, the arenas that you're in and the levels that you're in are very compacted. And this one was specifically showing like a lightning bolt in the middle or something like that.
Yeah.
And showing possible different paths. And I even kind of bumped it like, how far apart can you be?
Yeah. That's going to be the interesting thing to see, like how far you can get away. It sounds like it's playable at the show floor, but Bethesda's
Booth
since
is
there's
always nuts.
and since there's not many show floor demos anymore, it's usually
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's coming out at the end of July, so July 26th.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done a really, like, Bethesda's always done a pretty good job of keeping their stuff pretty tight-lipped. And then, like, it was announced and it's going to come out in a month, so this is great.
Yeah, they have to, because it takes forever for Starfield and
And then I think the thing that maybe you and I are most intrigued about is they showed Deathloop.
Yeah, Deathloop looked pretty damn cool.
So it looks to me like there's two parallel timelines running, and one person is trying to maintain their timeline, and the other person
trying to break
is trying to break the timeline.
Yeah.
And they're both they have to go against each other. And it sounds like you can play as either one.
Yeah, or
both.
Yeah, or if you're playing one, the other's the villain, but you maybe decide whose storyline you agree with. This is, of course, we're all just guessing right now because they didn't really show too much.
Yeah.
It could be one of those scenes where you pick your character, and then that character is the hero, and you get the narrative from their perspective.
Right.
And then you can play the game again for the other character, hopefully. But that game looked cool. Again, music will trick me. But it looked pretty damn cool. It's Arcane Leon Studio, so they do quality work. It looks like it has that Dishonored flair.
Right.
So hopefully...
Yeah, and you and I were talking before. I was like, this might be time to see another Dishonored, and now they're just kind of...
Yeah, which
going away from it.
Makes sense.
Which
like
is fine.
Yeah.
And then they got on stage and started getting a little technical stuff, and I didn't really understand this stuff. So they announced their own streaming service, essentially, or cloud gaming service.
Yeah.
Right? Orion?
Or it's a tool set to be used for other streaming services. They said it works with any streaming service, so they can get like no latency, which is like there's always a little latency. There's always going to be a little latency, but their latency would be...
It just felt like this was a Bethesda like flexing too, like, hey, we can do this too.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
And they showed someone playing Doom on a phone without much input lag or latency, which doesn't really translate well to seeing like off camera, like, oh yeah, they hitting the buttons and it seems like stuff's happening on the screen. But again, the assholes that were just wooing everything, we're going nuts right now. And
I always thought it would be interesting to bring somebody on stage and say, hey, download this while this trailer's playing, and now you play.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of... But and people still feel like that's staged. So, and then they put Doom Eternal on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's Doom Eternal is coming out November 22nd. It was... The biggest takeaway I took from it, it was very, very fast.
It's always been, like, super fast.
Like, this was even more fast, though, than...
Yeah, well, because there was... I don't remember if there were, like... There was power-ups everywhere.
The arcade-like looking thing.
Yeah.
Here's a different gun. Instead of finding a gun on the ground and you hold square to pick it up, like, this was just, like, run through this, and it's, like, shotgun. It didn't say that, you know?
Yeah, but it was,
like... It showed, like, a one-up.
Yeah, and then boost, dash, increase. It was all that stuff, and I just don't remember... Like, I never finished Doom 2015 or 2016, whatever you want to call it. But I don't remember all that stuff. But they did show, like, that trial mode where you're, like, literally, like, running through a level as fast as possible.
Right.
Which I think that's pretty new. But it looked cool. It looked super violent.
Super gory.
Yeah. It looked like Doom, basically.
Yeah. So, and then they talked about a Doom multiplayer experience of battle mode. So 2 players control demons.
Yeah.
And 1 player controls a fully decked out Slayer.
Which sounds fun in theory, but if it is not balanced well, could probably be.
And I think it would have to be
fun.
balanced on the side of the Slayer because that's a 2v1.
You would think so, but also a fully souped up Slayer could possibly be too powerful for even 2 demons to control. So that the balance on that must be a nightmare to.
And then there's multiple. It sounds like there's multiple different demons that you could be able to play as.
Yeah, various different demons, and that's part of the strategy, I guess. I guess if it's a best of round and you can switch your demon out after a round, that would be very helpful, so you know how good the Slayer is.
Yeah. So, and that was the end of that. A couple other things that kind of came out during the day yesterday is we got the release date for Final Fantasy VII.
Yep, which is March 3rd, I believe, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
People thought it was leaked on YouTube, but it was actually what happened with Kingdom Hearts the previous night. They revealed the release date at their concert. So that's why...
Nobody put 2 and 2 together that the release date's on the poster, and then you're not announcing the release date until 48 hours later.
Yeah. So. Well, because like Amazon put up a posting, you know, like the release date, people are like, oh my god, Amazon just leaked the big announcement. It's like, no, at the same time, the concert was happening.
Yeah, so somebody has blamed Amazon already. Somebody has blamed Sony already.
Yeah.
And now, but it was at the concert.
Yeah, because the previous night before, they announced the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC at the concert. And, they told people, do not take camera footage of this trailer. People did that, and then Square's like, oh, fuck it. And then they put the trailer on their YouTube channel, and same thing here, but they beat people to the punch. They at least told their partners, like, release the video.
And they keep showing just the early part. Like, they haven't said if it's episodic or not episodic.
They have to say that tomorrow.
And then because they keep showing the early parts. Mm-hmm. Like the parts of Final Fantasy VII that I remember. And I never even got very far.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they need to clear all of that up. Because
and Square has their own Twitch press conference tomorrow.
Yeah, they took Sony. No, tomorrow. They took Sony's slot.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. E3's tomorrow. Shit. Okay.
I know the morning recording thing is kind of messing with you, but the sun is out and it's daylight.
Okay. Yeah, they have Sony's slot, so we'll see what they have. They have to answer that because there's nothing on like the Amazon page that indicates if it's episode 1 or not.
Is it $60?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. All right. So that's it for Sunday. So I really want to know if you guys like the live stream. If you're watching on the live stream, I know there's a handful of you guys watching. Chat's been going a little bit. Nothing really crazy in chat. We cleared up a couple things that were in there. I agree that Battletoads looked like a Flash game.
Yeah.
But like I said, the replay for this will hopefully be in the archives on Twitch. I'll talk to somebody on the home team about maybe putting it on YouTube for you guys. And we'll get the podcast up on the feed sometime today as I edit it before we leave. But again, just keep sending us stuff as you see things. Like send us some stuff with a hashtag AskPSNation, and we'll look at it. Lethal, I did see your question about Destiny. We'll talk about that like later on in the week when we have some more time. If anything else maybe comes out, there's a panel on Tuesday about Destiny and Bungie and things like that. So I'll see if anything comes out of there before I really give a full impressions of that, because knowing my luck is I'll say like 4 things and then they'll just debunk all 4 of them.
Yep.
So, but other than that, we will be back tomorrow morning, hopefully, or late tonight, depending on how everything goes. We have Ubisoft today, and we have Square, and we have a couple of appointments today with Games and Poly, who used to be Plantronics, and another game I can't remember.
Pacer, which I believe we could talk about right away. If not, sorry.
Yeah.
We have a couple things.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of hours.
Yep. See you.
All right. That didn't go too bad.
No.